Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So it's about 4:30, 10:27 Saturday up here in the upper garage. It's about 63 degrees. So I've put the first 20 or so videos up on YouTube, which has forced me to watch them completely and critically. And when one does that, one realizes what one does well and what one is not doing well. Actually, I don't realize really what I'm doing well because I'm kind of critical. But what I'm noticing I'm not doing well is I'm talking about things but not necessarily putting them in the camera view. I have a tendency to have the camera a little right of what I'm looking at. Like if you look at my finger, I'll be talking about something doing this when I really should have it here in front of the camera. So anyway, I noticed that and I'm going to try to improve on it. I'm also going to try to speak up a little bit and a few other things. So what's going on? Today is 10/27, and for those of us who live on the East Coast, the right-hand side of the country, we're getting a storm coming our way. Sandy is coming up the coast and it's going to make a bit of a mess. So I figured I'd shoot a quick video for a current video. That way y'all could see that, you know, I'm somewhat alive, kind of a daily video blog or bi-weekly or tri-weekly video blog. And also so that y'all could see my storm preps. Today is Saturday. I worked the last 3 nights, so I worked Friday night, got home at about 7:30ish, 8 o'clock. I went out and got some gas. When one is preparing for a storm, you go out and buy gas. I normally don't have any real trouble with this garage and water. If it's blasting up against the doors, I might get, you know, a little bit that runs in 2 or 3 cups. No big deal. So this garage is pretty secure from a rain and water point of view. It's also up higher. You can see I'm standing up high by the garage, and you can see how it tapers down to down by the key or down by the driveway. So I'm about, I don't know, 3-4 foot above the driveway there. So I really don't have any trouble with water here. I also scalloped the land. I don't know if you could kind of see it, to make sure it runs off. So no trouble with water up here. Preps for the storm. I have gasoline. There's a propane heater there. I got a hoard of propane on the wall. There's another bottle of propane. I don't know if you can see it amongst the crap. That's one of those tall guys. It's standing over there. So I have propane stoves. There's a transfer switch that should be hooked up right there. That's not, so there she sits. Not very good of me. So anyway, just the upper hoard. And I think, yeah, I'm done up here. So let's close this up, lock it up. Now down to the lower hoard. By the way, I'm whacking about a mouse a day up at the upper hoard. I just put traps in between the garage doors, and it seems that a mouse a day likes to come in and get whacked. Anyway, working our way to the lower hoard. I did rearrange a little bit. Actually made a little bit more of a path through here. I don't have to climb over that snow blower. Anyway, so down here at the lower hoard, I've kind of jockeyed the cars around a little bit to make some space. My wife's having a piano recital tonight, and I have to make some space for cars to come in and out. Okay, here's the backhoe, or the front of the backhoe that I alluded to in one of the videos. The rest of it, I don't know how well you can see it. It's back there. Anyway, here are the generators. I've already fired these 2 up. This True Life is a clone of like a Honda generator. It's been good. I got it cheap. I bought it new for a couple $100. Buddy at the flea market had a load of them. Had a container full of them. I liked the generator. I never really trusted it because it was cheap, but it's probably got over 100 hours on it, maybe even 200 hours, and it's been good. Starts, runs, electric start. It's probably 4 years old and it still electric starts. It's been a good generator. It's also got a pull starter on it. About 3,000 watts, 6.5 horsepower. I don't know, 6 times 8 is 48. It's not that many watts. It's about 3,500 watts. Then I got the Generac. Nice generator, starts on the first pull. The oil pressure switch went bad, so it would start and stop and start and stop and start and stop, each time a shorter and shorter cycle. Anyway, I figured out the switch was bad, so I bypassed it. I just checked the oil every time before I start it. The Generac is stronger. You could tell that when you have something plugged into the Generac, it's got more oomph to it. It's when you squeeze the trigger of a saw or something, it starts faster. That's the positive on the Generac. The two bad things about the Generac is it's meaner on fuel than this guy, and it's a lot noisier than this guy. So I have a tendency to use the cheap Chinese one around the house, and I have a tendency to use the Generac when I'm doing like construction, running a saw or something. It's stronger for starting that. Both of these are very low mileage. The Generac is 13 years old. I bought it for the year 2000 gig. There she sits. I always turn the gas off when I'm done using it, even if it's just a test start. This one too, and I run them completely out. I also use stabilizer in them. That's the gunk version of stabilizer. And if they're going into any real long-term storage, I take the gas caps off and spray a little WD-40 on top of the gasoline for both of them. They both started after not being starting for quite a while. They both started on the first try, the first electric try for the yellow one, for the cheap Chinese one, and the Generac started on the first pull. Just turned the gas on and fired them up. So you see I got my Horta gasoline. That's diesel fuel for the Kubota or the Hardy diesel or Shinunu diesel should I need it. I got the lights on in the lower hoard here so you can see a little bit more of what's going on. So, one other thing while I'm down here. Plugging the house into the generators. I normally do not go through the breaker box. I can reverse feed it and do all kinds of other things. I'm an electrical engineer, so I know how to hack that. But I don't do that. I'm always concerned that for some reason, if you do that and you lose the neutral on the house, somehow the neutral gets hot, a hot wire falls on it, or you're not grounded as well as you think you are, you can run into some real trouble. You could blow up your generator and start blowing up appliances. So I have a tendency to run extension cords and plug in each appliance into its own outlet, so to speak. I also like to put a watt meter on the generator to see how much I'm drawing. 2 reasons I do that: so that I know how much power I need for future installations, and also so that I can make sure I'm not beating up on the generator. Basically, my belief is if you're looking at a 3,500 watt generator, you probably don't want to load it any more than halfway, so 1,800 watts, 2,000 on the outside. For a 4,000 watt generator, once again, I like to load it only at about half its rated value. I've had friends that have blown up a lot of generators because they have a tendency to tax them at full value. I have not blown up a generator, knock wood, and I only tax them at half value, so take it for what it's worth. This is one of those extension cord. It's a Carol. I picked it up at a flea market. It's got outlets I think it's 6 feet. So this is handy. I run that through the living room. I plug it in to the generator here. Run it through that window by the air conditioner through the living room, and every 10 feet I have an outlet. So it makes it very easy, convenient to plug everything in. I got a load of extension cords. You can see them here. That guy there. That yellow one, you can see the end of it. This guy's in use. I'm charging the battery for the Hardy diesel should it should it be needed through some freak of nature. Well, folks, I've already wasted about 10 minutes of your lives, so I got to kind of kick this up a little bit. Though my computer seems to upload these fairly quickly, as long as I'm not in high definition. Once again, more extension cords, and this is a nice breakout box. So I got everything I need from that point of view. The Horde, this garage does flood, and if this garage floods too much, another power strip, it backs up against that door and starts going in the basement. So behind the snowblower there, I don't know if you can see it. Well, you can't see it because I can't see it. There's a sump pump. There's a hole right in the center of the garage, and you see that black hose that goes around and goes over there. That I run out and down the driveway, and if you look at the garage door, where am I? How come you can't see it? There it is. See that hole right there? I cut that hole in it so I can close the garage door and run it out and pump it out. Once again, that's a 3-seater mouse trap, and there's a 1-seater mouse trap over there in the block for whacking mice down here. Overall, between the area around the cars, in the Kia, in the F-150, all over the place, I must have whacked 30 or so mice so far this year. We're down in the basement Horde now. The lights are on so you guys can see. Right now, down here, I got the battery Hordes charging. So these are all filling themselves up. That way it's all ready to go. I keep these on a 1-hour timer, and I just keep resetting it. I don't like to leave batteries charging indefinitely, so I just put them on a charger, and when I'm done with them, when the hour's up, it turns off, and then if it needs more, I could just come by and give it a twist and give it another hour. If I need to power, boy, you guys can't see anything here, neither could I. If I need to power my well, I have the ability to do that. I don't know how well you guys could see it. It's a submergible pump. I rigged up an outlet so that I can run 220 down a 110. So basically the neutral and the hot on the 110. I run 110 down each, which gives me the 220 when you put them together. Regular extension cord. Then I put a plug onto the end. I don't know if you can see it. Well, actually onto the end of that, and make sure that I can power up my well. I just power it until I let it run down completely, then I fire it up and fill the tank and let it click off. I disconnect it and I cycle it basically between just about 0, no back pressure, and full to where it turns off. I try not to let it cycle between 20 psi and 45 psi, because when it clicks on at 20, the engine has a tendency to strain, and I don't like that. And once again, the last thing I need to do is burn out a $1,500, well, $500 pump, $1,000 installation, so $1,500 pump deal. So anyway, here's all the batteries. They're charging, and just kind of getting ready for the storm. My belief is, or I'm hoping, the storm is trivial. I hope we get nothing. I'm a couple of hours out of New York City, and they are saying that New York City is going to get a 8-foot storm surge. So if they're talking that kind of storm surge, and they're talking the kind of rain they're talking, I probably will be at the minimum pumping out the garage here, and at the maximum I'm going to have a bit of a mess to clean up on Monday and Tuesday. Yes, the Horde. You guys can see things a little better now. Anyway, I better let you guys go, because I've burned about 15 minutes of your lives. I'm sure you all have better things to do than watch a crazy hoarder prepare for a storm that may never hit. Let's hope it never hits. Okay, folks. For those of you who are in the path of the storm, be careful. Try not to do anything stupid, and I'll try to return the same favor. I'll try not to do anything stupid. Be safe, happy, live, love, have a good time, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Hoarding Mayhem.